swear this is the worst time for news to drop, especially news as big as this, because I am in no shape to be doing a news video right now for you guys, and especially because I always like to be one of the first ones to do it, to get, the news out there for y'all. Anyways, about 5 hours late from all the news, at least I can do it all in one video. There's been a ton of news drops from Spirit, official and leaked, and we're going to be talking about that in today's video. Starting off with something huge, Spirit officially announced that we'll be getting something tomorrow, and by the looks of what they released, it seems like it's just going to be one animatronic. They asked who or guessed who will be meeting tomorrow, so based off that, I'm assuming it'll just be one person. So those of you who thought we'll be getting a full drop, I'd say get that mentality out of your mind. I don't think that's going to happen. It's pretty much just going to be maybe one, maybe a little, more than that, maybe one or two props at best per release. But I mean, considering the fact that we waited this long, anything at this point is pretty exciting for sure. Now onto the unofficial releases that we've gotten today, or I guess the leaks more so. This is a photo of the manual for the theme and some animatronics as well. The theme of the subway station, obviously. We can't really see too much from this photo, and which by the way, I did get all the photos from Rottonpumpkinhaunts. He just had the best, clearest photos, and some photos that I haven't seen from other YouTubers, so shout out to him, of course. But yeah, we can't see too much from these manual photos as per usual, but we, can get a very good idea or style of what this theme could look like. It's clearly going to be some very dilapidated subway station, not quite as complete as we've gotten in the past, or as I even thought we would get. It is a very dilapidated, it's kind of crumbling down. It looks like a big earthquake sort of just took over this entire station. And there's actually a really cool selection of theme pieces with this theme. However, I do believe we'll be getting more photos very, very soon, probably more in-depth and detailed and high quality, so I won't really go into all of that right now. The main focus of right now is the animatronics that we can see in here. Of course, we can see Valak, which is the one everyone's kind of going crazy for. The Nun, it is a really cool looking animatronic. We're not really too sure what it does yet, but there does seem to be a weight on her, so we do know that it is some kind of jump scare prop like Emmeline, like many of us were theorizing. Another thing is that we can kind of see this character with a machete, or two machetes. A lot of people are speculating that this is either Two-Faced Teddy or Headcase Harry. I'm on the boat that I think it is Bullseye. I think that is very fitting with the machete, maybe he's throwing the machete or something, has something relating to do with that. Also because, Bullseye, I feel like is more in relation to a clown, and so far this is one of the only clowns we've seen this year, so I feel like this could be Bullseye for sure. In the other photo, we can see the Sinister Straw Man, the jumping prop, which there is another photo that is coming later in the video that I will talk about, which shows this character in great detail. So overall, pretty cool stuff so far. And in this photo, we get a good look at the new Steppads for this year, the Steppad covers, and it seems to be some kind of sewer drain, which of course fits, and the actual theme stage itself, if you would call it that. Again, very dilapidated looking, and the Steppad covers look very similar to things that I feel like we've seen in the past. I want to say maybe 2021 or something was the last year we saw a Steppad that kind of looked like this, or maybe even prior to that. If you remember, let me know down in the comments below what theme you think this relates to. In this next photo is just a closer up shot of Valak and what I believe to be Bullseye, but don't quote me on that, it's not official yet. But I mainly want to talk about the subway car in this one because we get a better view of it for sure. And this subway car looks pretty cool. It even has tracks underneath it, which I was not honestly expecting them to do, but that is awesome. I love that they're actually incorporating just such high detail and quality into this theme. It makes me very excited. I feel like this is a theme that came straight out of the mid 2010s era of Spirit Halloween. Awesome. I love it so far. Really can't wait to see it in person. It kind of sucks that flagship isn't opening because we can't really see what this theme would be like in full glory, because a lot of the stores near me don't do the full theme. However, there's a couple that would do the full theme, so hopefully I can see it in person. But yeah, so far I think this is shaping up to be one of the coolest themes we've gotten in a long time. This next photo shows a closer look at what I believe to be the Lantern Keeper, and it is actually a Scarecrow-esque character, which I was not expecting at all, but I can't honestly, lie, I really do enjoy this character. It does kind of remind me of something that maybe Party City or Home Depot would have sold a few years back, but I do enjoy its simplistic nature quite a bit, and I am a fan of the Scarecrow pumpkin props for sure. I like that this one's kind of more in a trench coat-esque. It almost seems like it's a person wearing a jack-o'-lantern, mask in a way, which is pretty cool. He has the hat. What he does is still a big question. Some people I know mentioned maybe he has the motion tracking like Nibbles, which would be pretty cool. There is an arrow that kind of shoots up into his head. I think that could possibly mean that he is fog compatible. Maybe smoke or fog comes out of the jack-o'-lantern, which would be really, really cool. So yeah, I'm pretty excited to see this one. Honestly, I don't know how tall he is or anything. We haven't really seen a full picture of him in comparison to the theme, but I am very excited to see this one in person. I do think so far he looks pretty cool. And speaking of scarecrows, our last image here is of the Sinister Straw Man, or at least what I believe to be, because it looked very similar to the one in the ISE image. If it's not Sinister Straw Man, then it could possibly be some kind of reskin of the demonic gatekeeper from last year, because it kind of does look like that. But I do feel like this is potentially the Sinister Straw Man, although his hands are on the ground, so I really don't know. If you know who this character is, tell me down in the comments below. It could be, like I said, the Sinister Straw Man, because he is kind of in that pose before they lurch up. But it reminds me more of Demonic Gatekeeper, like the position that he was in. So again, you let me know, or if you do know, just let me know down in the comments. But it's very interesting. If this isn't Sinister Straw Man, then that means that we've gotten 3 Scarecrow props this year, which is quite a lot, more than usual for sure when it comes to Spirit. But yeah, I think the design is pretty cool on him, although we would, have to see his animation for me to kind of get my full justification on the character as a whole. It would be interesting if this was Bullseye, maybe he kind of has like the zombie gun blaster animation where he kind of like leans back, you shoot him and he leans back or something, It would kind of fit with like that more like farm-esque theme, which Bullseye as a a name or a word does fit that theme for sure. So this could possibly be Bullseye, but again, if you have any theories on this character, let me know down in the comments below. Anyways, guys, that's gonna do it for this video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Again, sorry for the bad quality audio and just all the different noises in the background. I am not in my usual working environment, but again, let me know your thoughts about everything that's been revealed so far. And yeah, anyways, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Bye.